Hello and welcome to Sportsvibe TV. We're very lucky to be joined by former world and Olympic track cyclist Victoria Pendleton. Victoria, thank you very much for joining us. Firstly, you're here alongside Halford today. You've got your exclusive range of bikes. Can you tell us a little bit more about them, please?
Yeah, I kind of got involved with Halfords in 2012 and really wanted to create a bike range for women, which was very much like participation level, bums on saddles, like providing something for people who were just getting into it. I knew that, in terms of performance bikes, Halfords did quite a good job with having Boardman involved, and I really like his bike range. So not competing with that, kind of working alongside for a different sort of client.
So you're hoping that your experience from the sport can be moved on to the younger generation almost?
I hope so. I think just providing bikes that are kind of light, functional, they look quite nice, quite simple, not very daunting, hopefully kind of quite open for anybody to sort of look at and sort of think, yeah, that's a good access, a nice accessible way into cycling. So that's what I wanted to provide, an accessible route into cycling.
So you retired back in 2012 from the sport. Do you miss being in a saddle at all?
Yeah, I mean, I really miss being an athlete. If there's anything I could be or would like to be, it would be that. I'd love to be an athlete. And I miss my teammates massively, the camaraderie. Being part of a team and part of such a successful team was phenomenal. Like, there's no doubt about it. It was tough and there was a lot of expectation, but going in to work and your work being like the track, going into the velodrome, the banter, also the kind of relationships you build with your teammates, because you see the highs and the lows and the struggles and the successes and the injuries. I think that it's kind of a bond for life in some ways.
Your father was a keen cyclist. Was it almost inevitable that you would get into the sport yourself?
Yes, it was totally and utterly inevitable. It was like sure thing.
What do you put down as the greatest achievement throughout your career?
There's lots of different things that I look at in different ways in terms of achievements. For me, probably winning my first world title in 2005, for me was like, I felt like I finally belonged on the team. I'm part of the team and I deserve to be here. And for me, that was like a really big step, because I was like, they weren't wrong about me. I do have some ability and talent. And yes, I've got a stripy jersey and I'm very pleased with that. So for me, that was like a real breakthrough. So I feel very proud of that. But then I guess gold in London, because there was a lot of pressure and expectation on me, mainly from myself, also from the general public. Going in as reigning champion, there was a lot to sort of deal with, and I'm glad I did it. I mean, I would like to have got 3, but hey ho, you can't win them all.
How about your MBE? Where does that rank amongst it all?
CBE,
sorry.
CBE, and the MBE, I was very proud of my MBE, but the CBE was even cooler, just because I was, awarded by the Queen herself. She presented me with my CBE, and I didn't really know what to say to her. I was like, thank you, Your Majesty, thank you, Your Royal Highness, thank you.
You're Great Britain's most successful female Olympian of all time. Does your Olympic achievement still feel as good now as it did at the time of winning them?
Do you know what? It's really weird. It feels like it almost didn't happen. It was almost like, is that a really realistic dream, or did that actually happen to me? Because I think at the time you're so full of emotion and, because it means so much to you and you work so hard and everything. Your life your perspective on life's a bit off centre, because all you think about is this. It's like life and death. I've got to be fast, riding around in circles on a wooden bowl with a bike with no brakes and one gear. This is it. That it kind of almost doesn't feel real. You step out in the outside world and you're like, was that me? That's weird. It feels a bit weird. I think maybe it'll soak in eventually, but it still really hasn't. It just, the further away we come away from 2012, the less real it feels. Are you sure it was me? Yeah, it was.
Pretty sure. I've seen the videos.
Yeah.
I saw it live as well.
Did you?